All right, thanks a whole lot for tuning in. I'm your host, Sean. Today, part three of the repair on this beautiful Peavey T-20 bass I'm guessing from the early to mid '80s. So what we're going to do today is really just kind of button it up. Um, I'm going to polish the frets and put strings on it and set it up. First thing I'm going to do is with my little Allen wrench. I want to make sure I had the right size Allen wrench. Is I'm going to put a little bit of oil on these tuners, and I generally, honestly, just use a little bit of 3-in-1 on these open tuners. They seem to work fine. As I said in the earlier video, or one of the earlier videos, these are there's two Fender and two Peaveys, but you know what, they all work, so that's fine. They're all tight. But like I say, I just put a drop or so in all the little areas, and then I'll wipe off the excess. You really don't have to do much with these type of tuners other than that. I mean, I usually drop oil on mine once a year or so, and that's it. You know, make sure that they're tight. And these are all good. I know there's, I mean, I guess it would be nice to have matching tuners, but it really, in the grand scheme of things, does not matter as long as they work. It kind of gives it a little bit of character too. So I'm just going to wipe off that excess. All right, so if you watched the channel before, I mean, I think you've seen plenty of this. First thing I'm going to do is tape off this pickup, just because I don't want to get a lot of metal shards stuck to it. I have never had it hurt a pickup. I mean, some people are really against using steel wool. I don't get it. I've been using it for years. All kinds of people do. All kinds of luthiers do, and techs, and I've never had it damage a pickup. I do tape them off, but I don't even think you have to. I tape them off really for convenience, because otherwise I have to clean it all off. But this is just painter's tape. It will not harm finishes or anything like that. So it's really good to use for stuff like this. I just do that. If I was doing, like, if I was going to really work on this on this fretboard, I would probably tape this off. There's no reason to tape it off, just to polish the frets. All I'm going to do is hit them with 4-aught steel wool, and I'm going to use a guard on it. Just one of these. If you don't have something like these, are really inexpensive, but if you don't have this, you can make them out of a soda can or a beer can or something. But like I say, this is way more than I need. And you can polish frets to get them really super shiny and make them crazy looking by doing there's so many different ways to polish frets. What I want them to look good, but I want the playability. 4-aught steel wool is going to give you that playability, and you can look how nice that looks compared to the others already. So I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to polish all of these, and then we're going to put strings on it, and we're going to see if we need a neck shim. But we need to put strings on it first, and then we'll set it up. Set the action and set the intonation, and that's about it. So you don't need to watch this. Hang on, I'll be right back, and we'll put strings on it. Okay, so those are done, and as I said in the previous video, these frets are in surprisingly good shape. So I just had a couple, like 2 high frets that I had to fix, and that was it. If you have headphones on, just be aware I'm going to use this vacuum. I like to vacuum up the initially, after using steel wool. It just gets it all up really easily, and then I'll wipe it off after. It also keeps my bench somewhat clean, which is a plus. All right, now something else that I'm going to do. This is, what is it? It's a 320 fine, but it's not 320 anymore. There's almost nothing here. I'm going to use this on the back of the neck because it's just gross. It won't take the finish off, but it'll take enough of it off just to get the grime off, and it'll make this thing play, I mean, just fantastically. So I do this on my bases too, just to keep them, really to keep them clean. I like a satin type finish. This does have a gloss finish on the neck, but you can take that down as much as you want. In this instance, I mean, this isn't my base, so I'm not taking it down to a satin finish. I'm just knocking off the grunge. That should just about do it. Oh yeah, tremendous difference there. All right, and we'll clean this all up too, and clean the rest of this off. A little bit of dog hair, sorry. Go ahead and take this tape off. I like this Dunlop 65 cleaner. I mean, there's all kinds of cleaners that are fine, don't get me wrong. This just works well, and it lasts forever. I've had it for a very, very, very long time. So, gift from my buddy Dale. He gave it to me for my birthday one year. You know what I just noticed? And this was like this one came. This wire is sticking up. I'm going to push it in because it's going to bug me. I hate to take this off again, but I think it was like that from the factory. It happens. The wire's on the wrong side of the screw. I don't want to send it back to the man like that. I think I can just get away with taking off these couple screws and fixing it. I should have caught that when I first did it. There we go. Done. I think. Well, let's take off one more screw. I'll make sure. Sorry, that was unplanned. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Like I say, it doesn't look like this has ever been tampered with. I doubt anyone's ever been in there. So I think it came like that from the factory, and that does happen. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. Works fine that way, and you could barely see it, but once I saw it was there, I can't help but continue to see it. So all right, so let's just kind of clean this up a little bit, and we'll throw some strings on it and see what it needs. It was not set up very well when it came to me. Again, the neck was really bowed though, so we'll see. It may or may not need a shim. I'm just not sure. and we'll find out in a moment here. What I usually do, I use a microfiber type cloth, you know, generally one without dog hair on it, but 2 German Shepherds and a cat, there's not much I can do. I usually spray it on the cloth and just go over everything with it. Now, this was not really that bad, though. It wasn't like really dirty. The back of the neck was kind of gross, and the pickups were really tarnished, but again in good shape, in really good shape. So I'm not going to do much here. Just wipe it down pretty good. I'll wipe this fretboard down. All right, more dog hair. Yay. Those frets look nice. Let's go ahead and get the back. But you don't need much of that stuff. I'm not going to do anything to the neck because I already cleaned it basically with sandpaper. Oh, you know what I'm just noticing? I don't think you need a shim with this because you can adjust it. It has a self-shimming type of a mechanism, so that's cool. So we can set the neck angle if we need to with that. Wonder if it's the same size as this. Probably not. No, but that's good. Okay, so there you go. If we have to set the neck angle, we'll do that. We won't even have to add a shim. We'll just have to loosen the neck and do it. All right, let's throw some strings on it. You know, first things first. Before I put the strings on, I'm going to raise this up because this one's down all the way. It shouldn't need that, especially since I adjusted the neck. I don't want it down decked on the bridge. I want something there. Now, the way you should really do this, move this stuff, is to check the radius, and from there, you can adjust everything appropriately. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I do want to see what the neck radius is, though. It feels like it's probably a 12, maybe a 9.5. Let's see here. Here's a 12. That's right on. So when we put the strings on, we'll kind of keep it at that. I'll set it up with low action. I should have asked what type of action he wanted, and I didn't. But I'd set it up the way I like it, and then if he needs me to readjust it, I will. But I think he'll be happy. So I'm using these GHS boomers, 45 to 105 mediums. These are the strings that I have been using. To date myself here since 1983 or so, and they have never let me down. I love them. They're not overly expensive either. Okay, so I'm going to put one of these on, and then I'll edit a little so you don't have to watch it all. Here we are at this funky bridge. Let's see here. I mean, I like the bridge, and I said before if it were mine, I'd change it. I probably would, but with that, I don't know. It's kind of neat to keep it original. So just to show you what I do, in case you don't know, these are just the type you just poke down and spin it up. So I'll usually measure about two spaces beyond where the tuner is that it's going to stay in, and then trim it off and then poke it down. This is just about 2 spaces anyway, maybe 3. So we really don't have to do much. I'm just going to trim it just a tiny bit. And then just poke it down, literally start spinning it. I do have these winders are great. I mean, an electric one or one for your drill is probably even better, but I generally just use this. I have a couple of these. All Dunlop. I use a lot of Dunlop stuff. I'm not affiliated in any way, although that would be nice. But yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And I got to put the string tree back on, so we'll put that on. I had to take that off to adjust the neck. I just keep tension on it, and make sure. I don't think we're going to have to cut the nut just by glancing at it. I'm not positive. If we do, we'll file it real quick. Let me put this string tree on now. There we go. It has slots. All right. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of these strings on. I'll be right back. Okay, strings are on. Let's go ahead and tune it up. Stretch them a little. I'm going to tune this to D standard because that is what I'm used to playing in. But it'll be set up good to go standard tuning as well, if that's what he decides. But rifle's in D standard most of the time. Well, all the time. Hi, Adeline. And we'll check the intonation. If you notice, I did not put the truss rod cover back on yet because I don't know if I'm going to have to adjust the neck again. All right, let's see. First things first, I want to see if we're going to have to mess with this tilt. I'm going to lower this action to where I think it ought to be. If there's enough adjustment, then we'll just leave it as is. But, yeah. And I'll be honest, I mean, I don't measure a whole lot for setting action and stuff. I go by feel. It's easy to measure if that's what you choose to do, but I generally go by the way it feels. Also, make sure that you keep your saddles level. A lot of people tilt them, and it just, you're not going to get good intonation that way. I'm going to take this down where I think probably should be, and we'll tweak it. I'll retune it. One moment here. I think that's probably pretty good. Let's tune it up and see where we're at. I like my basses at, you know, medium low, because I hit pretty hard. That's probably pretty close. So we know we got a 12-inch radius. One thing you can do is you can kind of put a 12-inch radius underneath this, and if they're all muted, so you can tell that I'm pretty well right on with the radius. Say after all these years, I just kind of know. I think that's pretty darn good. Let's see if the neck is bowed any. Oh, for a second. Oops. And just a tiny bit of relief, tiny bit, which is exactly what I want. So that neck has just been wonderful. I'm very happy. I think this action is good. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to go any lower than that. I don't think we need to do anything with the neck. I do want to see what size that is. And I'm just going to make sure it's snug. I had the right size. Yep, feels good. All right, let's check the intonation. Before I forget, put this truss rod cover on because we don't need that. And again, thankfully, I was able to repair or remove that wood, and my repair is completely covered by this truss rod cover. All right, that's done. If for intonation, I kind of eyed it up a little. It looks like it's pretty close. You can't always go by that, but if it hadn't been messed with much, we may be in good shape, and we'll look out. All right, so that's about a tick off. So we want to adjust this one. And we are a little flat, so we want to tighten it in, make it a little sharper. Almost there. I mean, it's actually good enough, but I mean, by anyone's ear, but I'm going to go ahead and get it as perfect as I can. I should do it right there. And if you don't know, that's how you set the intonation. Just get it in tune and check it at the 12th fret, or if it's fretless in the 12th position. If it's flat, like it's a little flat now, you want to make it sharper, so you want to go back. You can think of it as this way: the bridge is sharp. You know, it has sharp pieces, so go towards the bridge. Pull this in just a little bit more. That's just about perfect. All right, I'm going to go through and I'm going to adjust all these. Be right back. Okay. It is intonated. It is strung. It's set up. Looks nice. I like this. So the one thing that remains that I want to do, I'm going to do a playing demo, but I want to see how much this thing weighs, because the T40s are known to be very heavy. This doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, 9 pounds, 0.02. That's about average. That's not too bad. I didn't think so. I thought these were lighter. All right, so thanks so much for tuning in. Please tell your friends, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, share, listen to Rifle every day, love one another, rock on. And I'm going to do a little playing demo here in a few, and I'll probably put that up as a short. Thanks a whole lot.